Welcome home, family and fellow citizens of the African Order. I'm here with another video, and the topic of this discussion is 7 whole days, 7 whole nights. You know, this is a popular song from Toni Braxton, who had enough. She hadn't heard from her boyfriend in 7 whole days, 7 whole nights, and she was just about through. Then after thinking about it, she's like, 7 whole days, 7 whole nights. I want to get away from you. That was her limit for her to change and take her life in a different direction. Everybody seemed to have their particular limits of what they would take, except for black people. I'm watching a spinoff of Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos show, and it was a couple on there, and brother was cheating on his woman. She finding condoms in his pocket. They fighting. He hitting her like a man, but she finally had enough. The day that he struck her when she was holding their baby in her arms. And her thought was she couldn't be with a man that would hit a woman holding the baby. I say all that to say this. It's been 500 years since blacks have been under some form of control by whites. And look where we are as a people. Where is our line in the sand? When do we say enough is enough? Recently, we had several mass shootings, and these white monsters are still being arrested alive. And if insanity is the reason for these killings, why is it relegated only to the white mass shooters? But you have whites that's in office that seem to be immune to this insanity. White mass shooters who vote for these politicians are infected with this, but the white politicians who campaign for their vote is not. I don't understand that. And like I say, these dangerous criminals that can kill people with impunity are being taken in alive. Meanwhile, our people can't walk out of a party store with a tea and a bag of Skittles without ending up dead. You walk out of a gym with a gym bag, and suddenly you look suspicious, and you end up dead. When do we have enough is enough? When is enough enough? If we need 7 more days or 7 more nights to decide this, that's 7 more days and 7 more nights wasted. We live amongst overarmed, insane whites who can kill a dozen or more people at a moment's notice just because he had a bad day. We're governed by apathetic whites who still side with gun lobbyists and gun manufacturers. And here we are stuck in between the mentally insane and the mentally inept and incompetent. Will someone please tell me, where's our freaking line? Where's our limits? There is no solution on this path, and there is nothing on the horizon. Family, their fate does not have to be ours. We can build our own paths to feeding our own, educating our own, healing our own, and protecting our own. But we deny ourselves by loving our enemy, We delay our progress by forgiving our enemy. We put off doing for ourselves, doing for others. Fighting with the Chinese, but won't fight for ourselves. You know, every time you forgive your enemy, you allow him more time to convince you that his way is the best way. Every time you love your enemy, you can't just up and, well, I just told him I love him, so it won't be right to leave right now. All these things delay our progress. And what happens in most cases when you are in a bad relationship and you keep forgiving, you keep denying, you keep ignoring, you end up wasting years stuck in the same place. And only to realize that you should have left years ago. And when you do, don't you feel a sense of relief knowing that you don't have to struggle, you don't have to fight, you don't have to argue. You can just, whatever it is you want to do, you can decide to do it and just do it and live your life. You know, being unhappy alone is one thing. Being unhappy with somebody else is something much worse. We don't need help to struggle. We don't need help to suffer. We can do this on our own. There's nothing that whites are doing for us that we can't do on our own, except for one thing: live a better life. Whites have not helped no one live a better life in their history of existence. They take life. They make life struggle. You struggle with life when you're dealing with whites. When you look at the way this country is right now, and imagine the way it was before whites showed up. Had they not washed ashore in this country, would this be a better place? If we didn't have a European influence that enslaved people, that brought capitalism, that allowed the civilization and cultures to live and progress at their own pace, wouldn't this be a better country, a better place to stay? And keep in mind, they tore down everything and started all over again and had their hands on the wheel the whole time. They had no one to contend with. Wherever direction this country went in, they were steering the wheel. They got no one to blame but themselves. Why are we still allowing these people to lead when you see the results of it? For the life of me, I can't understand that. But before I end this video, let me conclude by saying this. In order for us to do better, we have to want better. We have to think outside the box that we were placed in. We got to stop believing that everything is going to be all right because somebody else said it's going to be. If we don't collectively get our minds out of waiting for others to make life better for us and into us making our lives better for us, you can take 7 days, 7 nights, and multiply it by 70 and still end up with nothing. I'm going to end this video here. And if you like this message, please share it. If you like the content, subscribe to the channel. And with this video, as with all my videos, it is for the complete liberation of my people and I'll see you in my next message. Ashe.